Today, Hikaru Nakamura won the Grand Chess Tour Rapid and Blitz in St. Louis. After winning the Rapid section, he finished first in the Blitz section as well. Here you have the key results. You can see the Rapid score, he was number 1, and he's also leading the Blitz score in the Grand Chess Tour. So he was a guest player in this event, and I'm going to showcase his game against Fabiano Caruana, the number 2 or number 3 in the world, also a US player. So in this position, Hikaru is white, play e4, and Caruana play the Caro Kann. That's not his typical opening. He can play e5, and he can also play c5. But c6, that's a surprise. And here, a typical move would be bishop g4, that's theory. But Caruana took on e4. And here in this position, Hikaru played very quickly d4. Another move possible would be to go queen e2, followed by g3 and d3. That's also possible, but d4 played. And in this position, the previous move known was bishop c4, followed by castle, but here Hikaru decided to trade the bishops. So now this position, I would say, is pretty quiet and slow so far. So bishop versus bishop, knight versus knight. So black has almost equalized. So Hikaru doesn't try to go for a straight attack. He's building up his position with white. Now, what's very important is the queen here can go to h5. That's very important. That was played in the game. And sometime the knight can come here and attack the queen side here. The king side, sorry. So that's, I would say, a good opening. And in this position, Hikaru says, well, I need to start to get something going, otherwise at h4, and you can see that h2 is a target, right? So he played d5, and now the position changed after e5. White has a pass pawn, but that pass pawn is isolated, could be weak, and black wants to push here once again to attack on the diagonal. So the position was very complex, and I'm gonna go to the critical moment. In this position, white played d6. Now if black can capture this pawn, black will be a pawn up, right? But white can use this advanced pawn to play knight c5, try to attack along this. So it's a question, is the pawn weak or is it strong? And that's a critical phase of the game. In this position, Caruana decided to chase the knight. Knight has to go, the queen is here, and now that pawn is attacked. And it's not 3 times, it's not easy to defend. But here, there's an indirect defense. b4, very strong. The queen coming here, then when the king moves, you have knight f7 or knight e6, very strong. So here, now rook e8 was played so that this square is controlled and this one is controlled. So far black, I think they're controlled, and here Caruana made a big mistake. He had to be slow, h6, king h7, and eventually capture this pawn. Maybe play knight f4. Instead, he went straight to capture the pawn. So yes, he's a pawn up, but he missed something. In this position, queen d5, attack d6, and b7. So the bishop moves. And now, yes, it's equal material, 5 pawns versus 5, but this is going to be very weak. Then you're going to advance over here, and this pawn is also a target. You can really try to win the e5. So you have a lot of targets, so white is definitely better. In this position, Hikaru find a great move, queen f7. So he's attacking the rook, but also this pawn is almost ready to be picked up. So queen e6 play, they exchange, and now he grabbed a pawn. Because if you take here, then I take back, and if you take, I take. And now I have 2 versus 1 here. So white is winning. Then they played a few more moves, but you can see that white has an extra pawn. So that's technically one position. They kept playing because they were both low on time. And here, black resigned. The reason is, if you take here, I will take, then move the king. I'm gonna advance this pawn so the king is stuck here, and then I go with the king, grab all these pawns. So very impressive win by Hikaru. He was undefeated in the tournament, and he won his first tournament over the board in a long time. And Fabiano Caruana finished second. Rapport, So, Mamedjarov, all very strong grandmaster. Petersviller from Russia. That was a very strong field, and Hikaru dominated the rapid and the blitz score. Thank you very much for watching.